is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
You all ready for this? Dun, 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 dun. No.
Y'all, just stop.
This is a sham.
Welcome to DBL. Happy Thursday, everybody. Oi, Stephanie.
All right, love.
How you doing? Are you in party mode for the Princess's Jubilee or the Queen's Jubilee?
Oh yeah, just like Johnny Depp, I'm up for having a mega pint.
Well, we gotta
celebrate.
Ooh, that's how I like to celebrate. All right, well, let's get to it. I'm sure you have heard by now, Johnny Depp won his defamation lawsuit against his ex-wife, Amber Heard. He was awarded $15 million in damages. Meantime, Amber was awarded $2 million after the jury found Johnny's lawyer defamed her. So as you can see, here's Amber's reaction as the judge read the verdict. Obviously not pleased. Amber's reportedly filing an appeal. So in a statement posted to Instagram shortly afterwards, Amber said, "The disappointment I feel today is beyond words. I'm heartbroken." Meantime, Johnny was apparently eating fish and chips. I'm sure enjoying that pint Stephanie's talking about.
I was with my mate, hanging out.
In an English pub, really?
Yeah.
When the verdict was read,
right?
Here he is leaving, fans cheering him on. One of those is your mate?
I don't know if she's in that particular video, but yeah, no, they're in a really tight friendship group. Him, my friend Azzy, and Helena Bonham Carter, and they were all like partying it up, and Kate Moss was there. They had a bit of a rekindling, shall we say.
So if you were there, you might have been there?
Oh, I might have been lucky enough to have been invited, maybe, but I'm here, aren't I?
Tori's in a tight circle in Scotland with all the Queen's
I just shout, hey guys, remember me?
What did you think about the verdict, Tori?
I think they got it right. I think for me, the only hard proof evidence is that she admitted to hitting him. I have not seen any evidence, although he's kind of a jerk, to him hitting her. So I think she defamed him. I think they got it right.
Wow. Mine just comes down to financials, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
15 million minus the 2, that's 13, plus the 7 she is supposed to donate, that's
Right.
20 million.
Yeah.
Where's she getting that from?
I want to ask our attorney because.
Well, let's get to that. So for a legal perspective, we're joined today by former prosecutor and veteran trial attorney Mark Eiglarsh. Now, Mark, we're going to enjoy a little slice of humble pie here. Because last time you were on the show, you predicted that Amber was going to win this. So what did you think of the verdict?
Well, I also predicted that the jurors would follow the law, and boy, that was a big assumption. Listen, I am sad today, not because I like Amber Heard. There's nothing about her that I like, and I don't necessarily think that her performance led me to find that she was credible. But all the jurors needed to do was find that even a fraction of 1%, she had a reason to believe that she thought that she was a domestic violence victim, and thus she could write that op-ed piece from that position. Apparently, they found zero credibility, zero victimization, and thus they said it was defamatory. Okay, that's their decision.
All right, Mark, in your opinion, what do you think the jury heard that you think really made them rule in Johnny's favor? For me, and I'm just saying this as a bystander, when I heard the audio of her saying, I was hitting you, I wasn't punching you, I did not punch you, I was hitting you, you're such a baby, and I never heard him ever admit to hitting or being abusive, especially sexually, which was her headline, I feel like that was defamation. So talk to me about what you think the jurors heard.
Okay, well, what they heard was someone who clearly was physical with him. I know my reaction when I heard that was, wait a second, you're hitting him, but that's not uncommon. It's not uncommon for some victims to actually fight back, and it would be a shame for anybody to label someone a non-victim solely because they have the courage to fight back against someone. But clearly they disdained her. They didn't like anything about her. But here's why it's not even a proper legal decision. So in one respect, you're saying there's no way that she can claim that she's a domestic violence victim. But then you're awarding her $2 million, finding that when the attorney for Johnny Depp calls what she was doing a hoax, that's defamation. Well, either it's a hoax or it's not. If it's not, then she had every reason to claim certain things that she did. Not everything, but just what she wrote in the Washington Post op-ed piece.
Interesting.
Hiya, Mark, it's me again.
Oh, the fake accent girl, yeah.
So, Mark, Johnny lost his libel case over in London, but he won this defamation case over here in the United States. So what do you think the difference was?
Okay, first of all, I'm glad I did the closed caption thing so I understand your question. Okay? The difference is, number one, that was a judge. it wasn't a big judgmental jury of his peers. You know, the court of public opinion hated her. These jurors hated her. A judge making a finding in London has nothing to do with jurors here. So that's the first big difference, probably the major difference. I mean, that judge is not goo-goo for Pirates of the Caribbean like these jurors are. So he starts with this presumption of, wow, we love Johnny. It's going to take a lot for us to rule against him. And she didn't bring the goods.
Well, Mark, I want to talk specifically about what goods that she might have, because she now has to pay $10.4 million. And a lot of people are like, you got that? So her attorney was asked about it. Let's hear what Amber's lawyer said.
What basically they did here is demonize her. And they were able to suppress the medical records, which were very, very significant because they showed a pattern going all the way back to 2012 of Amber reporting this to her therapist.
Is she able to pay a $10.4 million judgment?
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Yeah, she didn't even hesitate with that, so we know it's a problem. Now, does she have options? Can she file for bankruptcy? Like, how does this work?
Okay, bankruptcy will not cover this judgment. No, she can't avoid that. But there's no debtor's prison, right? So you can't squeeze water from a rock. If she doesn't have it, she ain't going to the Pirates of Caribbean jail. It's not going to happen. So candidly, it's just not worth the paper that it's on. If in the future, however, she does ever find a way to scrounge out any kind of money-making opportunity, you might as well sign the check over to Johnny Depp.
Yeah, right. In my opinion, if Johnny wants to get in the good graces, can he say, I don't need it? Or I guess give it to charity or do that?
I love you, Tori. You always try to find something angelic and beautiful. These people have been fighting to the death. All of a sudden, he's going to turn around and wish her well. Ain't going to happen. But yeah, he could do that.
Yeah, okay. All right, that's fair. Talk to me about this, and this is important for other survivors of domestic abuse, sexual violence. Do you think this verdict will have a chilling effect on them? I feel very strongly this is an outlier case. I've always called it like a tire fire. I don't think this will have an impact, but what do you think?
Okay, I hope you're right. I hope it's kind of out there, and she just was so not credible and not believable. The problem is, if you're a domestic violence victim and you want to write something in the paper, you want to speak out about someone, you are definitely going to think about this. There's no question. And your concern is, if the other team has a better set of lawyers, which was the case here, right, I may wind up having to pay someone because I can't prove something that occurred behind closed doors. That's a concern that I have, but I'm hoping, like you, that this was just a random, isolated case where she just was so not credible to the jurors that no one else would be treated that way.
Yeah, and I think she did defame him, in my personal opinion. I think the verdict was correct.
It's also,
okay,
it's also nice
good
having
for
a
you,
professional
but
point
I
of view.
also think that the appellate court may find differently. I think the appellate court is saying that now all of our freedoms are in jeopardy. If I find that I'm a victim, but I can't prove it, let's say, but I believe that, then I have a right to share that. I think the First Amendment gives wide latitude. If you look at all the cases that I studied in law school and the history of jurisprudence, you err on the side of free speech rather than suppressing it. Except, I know what you're saying, except if you're truly lying about it. And again, that's what the jurors found.
Right.
Mark, we love your opinion. Thank you for joining us here on DBL.
I love you more. I love you guys more.
For more information on Mark and his law firm, go to speaktomark.com. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks,
we appreciate
Mark.
it.
Man.
Coming
Take
up
care,
on
guys.
DBL, we're continuing the conversation on Johnny's big win. Did the court of public opinion have anything to do with the outcome? And did little Prince Louis steal the show at the Queen's Jubilee? We're talking about the best moments from the big celebration.
Closed captioning provided by...
This June, DBL isn't holding back.
I've already spent my time and all of my sanity on trying to make you happy.
I like a little cheese on my potatoes. That wasn't going on in my head.
That's what we need more of, conversations in this country.
Yeah, I like that. DBL is all new every day.
We were just crushing on Mark Eiglarsh. We think he's really awesome.
Wonderful,
Yeah.
even if he can't understand me.
I
think he's very sweet.
I remember the first season I worked on a show for the BBC for years, and the first time we ever all met up at this hotel in San Diego to talk about shooting, I couldn't understand anybody.
Really?
No.
Did you fake it?
I was just I could pick up some stuff, obviously, but by season 2, I got everything. But it takes a while. It's such a different accent. Now, can you identify pretty quickly like where people are from in England, like the region in terms of the accent?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah,
Like
there are
Liverpool
a few,
or Manchester,
Yeah, there are
right?
certain cities like Liverpool, Manchester, Essex is a region just outside of London. They are so distinct.
It's like Southern accent.
And pikey.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that.
You can't say pikey anymore?
It's not great, my love.
Oh, sorry. No. I just watched.
There's a bar in LA.
No, I just watched. What's it called?
Peaky
Guy
Blinders.
Ritchie. No, not Peaky Blinders. Guy Ritchie's film.
Lock, Stock and Two
The
Smoking
Gentleman.
Barrels.
Next one.
The Gentleman.
No.
Lock,
Snatch.
Snatch.
And they
Such
say
a good
pikey.
movie.
So I'm sorry. I did
Such a
not
good
know you
movie.
can't say that
Such
word
a good
anymore.
movie.
Yeah. I'm learning
Such
every
a good
day.
Movie. You used to be able to say it, but now.
I don't
no
know. I'm not.
longer.
I'll stop talking because I will offend.
We'd say travelers, maybe.
I don't even want
is
to
that
dwell on
the
it.
travel?
I think that bar is out too now.
Is it?
Yeah, I used to go there all the
time.
time.
Yeah, there was a bar in LA that we used to have our after parties for my hip hop show. Can I Kick It? We would
I
have
bet
it
we
there.
were in the same time.
We probably
I was
right
there
across the street from the Meltdown.
Of course, it was right on Sunset.
Right on the
I was
corner.
Definitely
First of all,
there.
we'd be like, "Can we have the after party here?" And they'd be like, "Cool." And we thought like there was like some kind of discount for us bringing in 50 people.
There
in
was
the-
not. It was
No
expensive.
discount.
Oh my!
It's an
gosh.
expensive
Did
bar.
you ever go to Pig and Whistle?
Woo.
Yeah.
I went
Oh,
there.
yeah.
I love that place.
Welcome back. I thought we were doing a tease there. Some notable celebs are standing behind by the music. I'm just trained. I'm like, that
Our
was an
cameraman
intro.
Ira was trying to let you know, and Ira was just being so diligent. And I was like, gonna just let it happen.
That wasn't the music for me to go get that piece of cheese. You know what I'm saying? That was a different soundbite. All right. So some celebs are standing behind Johnny Depp after his big win. Naomi Campbell showed her support for Johnny online, as did Sharon Osbourne and musician Ryan Adams, not to be confused with Brian Adams. Meantime, on Amber's side, Amy Schumer posted an uplifting feminist quote, and although she didn't specifically mention Amber, a lot of people think it was in support of her. And speaking of social media, it seems like it was very much on Johnny's side. TikTok videos with hashtags in support of Johnny were viewed more than 19 billion times compared to those videos with Amber's, which only saw 81 million views. So did social media play a part in this trial? I think we all have the same answer, right?
I mean, absolutely. There's no way on God's green earth that it didn't. Come on, if that is a huge swaying factor. I mean, justice for Johnny was going through the roof, like you said, and no one really cared to hear for Amber, I don't think, at all.
But even if you take social media out of it, just like as a personal point of view, just watching it if it was a movie, Amber lied up there. Her reactions didn't look genuine as opposed to Johnny. He was very cool. He answered all the questions in a very charismatic answer. So just one-on-one, you're thinking, I'm not buying what Amber's selling.
I hate saying this. I agree with Jeffrey.
Yeah.
I have to say this because I think the court of public opinion was able to watch the whole public trial. And because of that, they were able to hear Amber, and Amber admitted to doing some awful, awful things. Now, Johnny also was admitted to doing some weird text messages and saying some horrible things.
There were lots of toxic all
right. But the only thing that was really proven to me and the jury is that audio of her saying, I hit him, and therefore she's defaming him if she says he hit me, which was never proved.
But isn't it weird, Al? Like social media, like maybe just a year or two or three, you know what I mean, was believe all women, right? And social media was definitely behind that and backing that. Now you get this case, believe all women, and social media is against what they just went for.
Yeah, I mean, well, because you take out the phrase social media and just put people. You know, these are people in a collective.
Yeah.
And so when you start talking about people saying believe all women, remember the climate. We were Harvey Weinstein, and I think men like myself, like Jeff, we were all just kind of hearing from our friends, like things that happened to you at jobs and things like that, and our jaws hit the ground like, oh my, I didn't know. I was just, that happened?
Yeah.
And so I think everybody was having this collective moment where we were just like, oh, has this been happening? We should have believed all women. But then we started doing that and we were like, oh, you can't do that. So now, just like the Tory pendulum, I feel like we're all coming back to the middle. We believed all women. You can't do that because you can't believe everybody just because of their gender. And you come back to the middle and you're like, well, look at you. And we looked at Amber and we were like, that woman doesn't seem like she's telling the
Say
truth.
she's an actress. I don't think she gave a stellar performance.
No.
I don't think she was very good either.
It's very strange.
Ooh, coming up on DBL, celebrating the Queen's 70 years on the throne. We're talking about the best moments so far from the Jubilee in London with a few funny faces from Prince Louis. What a cutie.
He's so cute.
This one. Tweets like these from an attorney and a cybersecurity expert say you should delete period tracking apps because the personal health data that you share with them could be used against you if Roe v. Wade were to be overturned and you were to seek an abortion. And that left a lot of people wondering if health data from period tracking apps are protected by HIPAA, a federal law that prevents sensitive patient health information from being shared without the patient's consent or knowledge. So let's verify. Is health data from period tracking apps protected under HIPAA? Our sources are the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the Department of Health and Human Services, the Federal Trade Commission, Pam Dixon, founder and executive director of the World Privacy Forum, and a review of 20 period tracking app privacy policies and statements from Clue, Flow, and Ovia Health. According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, HIPAA rules, quote, apply only to covered entities and to some extent their business associates, unquote. Examples of covered entities are health plans and healthcare providers that do standard electronic transactions, like insurance billing. According to Pam Dixon, most period tracking apps are not covered under HIPAA. She told Verify that if a period tracking app does not include a notice of privacy practices for protected health information in its privacy policy, then the health data shared on the app is not protected by HIPAA. And that means that the company who makes the app can share or even sell that data. Some period tracking apps claim they are, quote, HIPAA compliant. But Dixon says that's a big red flag because
in terms of HIPAA, it doesn't mean anything. It's kind of a meaningless phrase.
Verify looked into the privacy policies of 20 of the top period tracking apps found in the Apple App Store and could only find one, Ovia Health, that said some of the health data shared in its app may be protected under HIPAA in some circumstances, but not all. In its privacy policy, the company says the data may fall under HIPAA if, quote, a person receives the app as a benefit from their health plan or healthcare provider, unquote. So we can verify, no. Health data from virtually all period tracking apps is not protected under HIPAA. With your Verify,
There's some stock sounds for you, huh? The party is officially underway in England. The Queen's Platinum Jubilee kicked off today. She is celebrating her 70-year reign. Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis made their carriage debut during today's parade. They were joined by their mom and grandma. Meanwhile, Prince William and his dad, Prince Charles, followed the carriage, riding horseback, of course. Also, the palace released this new portrait of the Queen to kick off the celebration.
Looking cute, isn't she?
Beautiful.
She's looking lovely there.
Beautiful. All right. But why is this Jubilee such a big deal? We're just going to roll right into that. Luckily, we have our very own British insider, Stephanie Jones, to answer some of these questions.
Yes.
Sorry about the intro, Steph. I didn't mean that.
It's all good. It's all good. So you're asking why is it so important?
I am.
Yes, you are. It's so important because...
Very casual conversation here, right? Yeah.
It's just a standard, Thursday, but no, seriously.
Tell me, seriously, why is this a big deal? I personally don't care, right? Okay. It's a big deal, 70 years, that's cool. But in England...
It's a monumental achievement.
Again, I appreciate it. Why is it so big in England?
You sound like it.
I'm trying to make it conversational. So, Stephanie, why is the England Queen fun?
Okay, it's not necessarily that she's fun, but like you said, so she's the longest reigning monarch in British history. 70 years is a huge achievement. And look at what the entire world has gone through during those 70 years. It's actually outstanding when you think about it. There's only one person in history that's been on the throne longer, which was King Louis XIV in France. He reigned 72 years, so she can hold on a couple more years, my darling, then you'll have a whole new title, which will be an even bigger celebration. But it's a big deal, and people in England are really, really excited. I mean, I think we need this as a country. After COVID, everyone being locked away for so long, I think we need that sense of community and bringing everyone together.
I think she's fascinating. She was there with Winston Churchill during World War II. This woman has just maintained a steadiness for the whole country for almost 100 years. It's very impressive. But Prince Louis is the one getting all the headlines, especially since he wore his dad's outfit from 37 years ago. Al, do you like it?
I think we can put that back.
Okay.
Another 37.
Okay. What do you think about Prince Louis?
Oh, I love him. So I think he's so cute. He's so cheeky. I don't know what they've done to preserve that garment. Must have been like an airtight, sealed vault container or something. I mean, I get moss eating my stuff after like a year. So 35, 37 years, gosh.
Steph, let me.
He's so cute.
Do you really think it's cute? Because you and I, we speak on a very personal level. You're my girl. So, man, do you really think? Because I don't like when a kid has on something and they're supposed to. It's like when those couples that put fedoras on their kid all the time, and I'm like, he didn't pick that out. Take that off his head.
Did he pick it?
Yeah.
No, not in a million years. Was he told, you're wearing this and you're going to be good?
Traditional.
Absolutely.
It's the Navy.
Is the sailor suit traditional?
Yeah, well, it's part of, so we have obviously the Royal Marines, we have all of the Air Force, everything like you do in obviously the United States. But I think he's really cute. He gives me a touch of Harry. He's cheeky. He's not being stood still, quiet, and all like the good little boy. He's showing his expressions and his personality. I think he's well cute.
Look, you're bringing up Harry. We know Harry and Meghan are there, but they're not in the photo on the balcony. Is there a reason for that, and is that on purpose?
Okay, absolutely, it's on purpose, Al. You hit the nail on the head. They are not working members of the royal family, so therefore they will not be seen on the balcony. We have had some sneaky behind-the-scenes shots of Meghan. It's the first time she's been seen around any of the royals in the last 2 years. But this was also a very convenient way for the royal family to say, see you later, to Prince Andrew. Although there was a breaking statement just before we came on here that apparently they're saying he's got COVID.
Oh.
Whoa.
Very convenient timing, isn't it?
Remember, though, he can't sweat it out. He can't sweat.
And Tori, run everybody who Prince Andrew is really quickly.
Prince Andrew is involved in the Jeffrey Epstein scandal as being somewhat of a sexual predator.
He's very affiliated,
and was the Queen's favorite, I believe, son, or was. I don't know anymore.
I think
Past tense.
That photo was a problem.
Yeah.
I love that. I could talk about that all day.
It's your favorite.
Yeah, all right, we'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
Take a look at this tweet right here. It claims that in 5 states, Texas, Arizona, Arkansas, Missouri, and Florida, you cannot get divorced if you're pregnant. So is this true? Let's verify. To get answers, we spoke with these 5 lawyers from across the country, one from each of the states in question. First off, our sources say this restriction is not laid out in any of the 5 state statutes. However, in each of these states, it is possible that a court could delay a dissolution of a marriage until a baby is born. Let's explain. Our Missouri and Texas lawyers say in those states, it's not impossible to get divorced while you're pregnant, but it's highly unlikely.
In Texas, they just don't want to complete a divorce case without rules regarding child support, possession and access, conservatorship, and then have to come back and relitigate those things in a few months once the child is in being.
Basically, in these 5 states, when a husband and wife get pregnant, the state automatically assumes the husband is the father. And our sources say that if a couple is divorced before the child is born, then the child could lose the legal right to certain financial or custody rights. For example, in Missouri and Texas, it's most likely that a judge will wait for the child to be born to determine paternity, custody allowances, child support agreements, etc. But family law attorney Claudia Work says it's actually unlikely that an Arizona judge would do the same.
People get divorced all the time before babies are born. If there's a dispute, there's a possibility that a divorce could last long enough for the baby to be born. But for the most part, judges aren't going to hold up divorces just to wait and see.
Arkansas and Florida are in similar situations. Legal agreements can be made to avoid the issue. So we can verify that this claim is false. Pregnant people are not banned from getting divorced in these states, but our experts say it is possible, depending on the circumstances surrounding paternity, that a judge could delay making a divorce official. With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozlov.
These days, more than 80% of all diners are paying their bill with a credit or debit card, according to a Bankrate.com survey. Verify viewer Linda emailed us to ask whether she could be charged extra for paying with plastic. So, let's verify. Can a restaurant charge customers more for using a credit card? Our sources are the National Association of Credit Management, the U.S. Department of Justice, and the nation's 4 largest payment network operators. Every time you swipe your card, the merchant pays a fee for processing. This is usually done based on a percentage of the total charge. Some restaurants absorb this cost, while others pass on the cost to you through a surcharge. All 4 payment network processors tell Verify they allow stores, including restaurants, to add a surcharge if they disclose it to customers ahead of time. Visa, MasterCard, and Amex were forced to allow surcharges after they were sued by the federal government over a rule that prohibited merchants from encouraging cheaper forms of payment. So, yes, a restaurant can charge customers more for using a credit card if they disclose the extra charge ahead of time. Our sources say merchants are not allowed to apply a surcharge to debit cards. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
So get your phones out and get ready to scan our QR code to shop some summer deals. Check it out.
Steph, what do you have for us today? I'm so excited.
Oh, Tori, hello, and hi, DBL Nation. You know we've got some fantastic items. You've been waiting for them all week, so let's get started. Who doesn't love shopping? I know I do. All right, so first up, we've got Bonico 3-piece Healthy Air Bundle. So this deal includes a bundle that consists of one diffuser, one humidifier, and one fan. So normally, this pack is $90, but we've got it for $29, saving 68%, and this is a really handy little pack. Now, Tori, we've got Bitech Multicolor Lightning 3-pack starter kit with light bars and a light strip.
What?
So this deal includes 2 light bars, 1 light strip, 1 power cable, 1 battery, and 1 super cute remote control.
No way.
So normally this is $40, but we've got this for $24, saving 40% on a disco in your own house. This next one is just too cool. We've got official HD mirror cam 1080p high definition dash cam video recorder. Normally this is $70, but right now it's only $34, saving everyone 51%. And for our last product of today, we've got the Deke 16-piece stainless steel knife block set. So this deal includes 1 knife block, 6 steak knives, 1 chef's knife, 1 carving knife, 1 boning knife, 1 carving fork, 1 bread knife, 1 santoku knife, 1 paring knife, 1 sharpener, and 1 pair of shears. It's normally $100, but we've got it for $39. It saves everyone 61%.
Guys, head on over to morningsave.com, snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices, and remember, you can even just scan that QR code on screen. It will take you directly to these products on Morning Save's website. Thank you so much, Steph. Good stuff.
So, Steph, we have about a minute left. What else is going on for the Queen's Jubilee this weekend?
What would Steph be doing if you did?
Okay, well,
is it drinking?
Yes.
Okay.
Everyone will be having a tipple, that's for sure. They'll be having a good old tipple too, watching Elton John, Diana Ross are all performing. It's going to be amazing. Here's some of the lineup.
Adam Lambert.
But you know what I'm really excited about is on Sunday, the Queen's golden carriage, which looks like it's out of Cinderella, is going to be.
Wow.
She normally would be in it, giving us a good old wave.
Right.
But apparently, there's going to be a surprise guest. Who? We don't know.
Wait a minute, you don't know who?
The Queen's saying she's not going in the carriage, but someone else is. Who?
Wait a second. How old is that? Date back like hundreds of years?
Oh yeah, it's literally they have to have so many horses pulling it. It must weigh.
I want to pull up to the club in that.
I love that. I love it. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow.